How's Texas?
Dude, it's nice. It's just hot, man.
Oh
It's like
no.
it's not Phoenix levels yet, I guess,
Yeah,
but it's pretty close. Like
yeah.
I mean, it's been hundreds for the last like ever since I got here. Like, next week it should go below it, but I don't know. We'll see. It's not humid though. I was in Austin like a couple weeks ago. That was
Oh
that was
really?
disgusting. Yeah. Because it was like the same heat. It was like 100, but it was like 60%
Damn.
humidity.
Yeah.
So you just
Damn.
step
Yeah, that's the
outside.
thing. Like that's why I always hear about like the Dallas area or like Houston,
Yeah.
obviously. Houston is like the worst.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I'm not there right now at least. But yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm fully adjusted at least to living here by myself and stuff. So
Oh, that's what's
I
up.
like it.
Yeah, yeah. It's been hot here too. That's why I got this thing on.
Yeah.
It's like it was like 95 today or something, but it's just like it just stays hot. Like
Yeah.
I mean until it gets dark, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean like I got my utilities bill back and I'm like, yo, I gotta fix something, but at the same time, like I can't it's
I
not even
know.
like
It's like what you're
I have
supposed to
this
do.
thing at like six. I keep it at like 74, which is not even that high. I
Right,
don't know.
right, right.
It's not that low. So I don't know. I gotta we'll figure something out, but
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
it is what it is. Summer's gonna make it more expensive anyway, but okay. You ready to go?
Yeah,
Dive in?
yes.
All right,
Yep.
bird. All right, welcome back everybody to another episode of the Sideline. My name is Rishi Oza.
My name's Asher Hire.
It's been a while. I think it straight up
At,
has been like 2 months.
as
I
always.
think
Yeah.
like
I feel like every episode we kind of just start out like it's been a while.
yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Both of us have been busy though. We have both had
I know.
large events happening around our lives. I am currently in El Paso at a new job for the next couple of years. I'll be here, so that's why my background looks a little different. I'm just in like my
Yep, yep.
dining room, living room, whatever it is. So this like void of
Yeah, what is
darkness is
it?
just my kitchen. It's my kitchen.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it was like a T. I didn't even know what that was. I don't know.
No, no, it's just my kitchen, but it's
Yeah,
dark. But but yeah, so that's what we were talking about earlier. Just chilling here. Asher,
yeah,
you've got
yeah.
all this stuff going on as well.
Yeah, I officially graduated from, what I'm saying, Arizona State a couple days ago. I don't know when, but um and then yeah, I started a new job with the Nuggets TV station, which is pretty fire, even though they don't really broadcast it on anything except direct TV right now. And I don't have any like inside like info. I wish I did,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's been going
it'll
well.
happen.
It's yeah, yeah. It's like on the producing side ish. Um, just kind of looking at. I just have to like log all these Nuggets games. It's wild. There was like right now I was doing game 5 of the Lakers series because they haven't done the playoff games. They didn't log them until I got there. Um,
Oh,
and so I was doing game 5 of the Lakers series today, and there was like 800 clips. Usually it'll be like 400 clips. This one had 800. I'm like, dude, why are there 800 clips, bro? So I have to go through every single clip and like label it basically. And there was this one whole page, so like each page is like 100 clips. The whole page was just LeBron, but it wasn't even LeBron plays. It was like LeBron like face close-ups, LeBron jersey, like it was like B-roll of
that's funny.
LeBron for a whole page. But anyways, yeah, it's cool to get in with a company like that, though. Um,
Yeah,
but shit, we're here to
nice.
talk football today. Football is
Yes.
finally back. It's amazing, even
Yeah.
though it's the preseason. I've been having a lot of fun just watching. You know, these rookie quarterbacks are just amazing. Really, like this class, I
Yeah.
feel like is shaping out to be really, really good. Bo Nix, obviously, we're going to talk about him. That's going to be like the main part. But I mean, obviously, like Caleb Williams, I feel like has looked the best. Jaden Daniels has looked very good in his limited snaps. JJ McCarthy looked amazing in his first game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I feel like I'm forgetting.
Drake
Oh,
May.
Michael.
Drake
Yeah,
May.
oh, May looked decent, and then Penix looked good
Yeah.
too. And then the Falcons shut him down. I'm like, okay, that's kind
Yeah.
of weird. Like just shutting down your rookie
Yeah.
quarterback for the preseason. I realize you have Kirk, but Kirk is like one like misstep, one sprained ankle away from boom, you got to put in Penix, and he's got no preseason experience. Like, I don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing, but
I don't
Um,
even think Kirk's playing in preseason, right? So like, why
yeah,
not
no, it was just like
play?
their third. I think it was Heineke, maybe. I don't know. I know Heineke's their third guy, but I don't even know if he was playing. Um,
I don't know what they're doing in Atlanta. They got a weird
yeah,
system right now. I was really excited after they signed Kirk. I was like, this is good. Like, I like that pickup, and then trading for Judon and signing Simmons. Like, this is good moves. And then I don't know the court how they've handled that because Kirk didn't know this
yeah,
was happening. Penix was I assume Penix was largely unaware of the fact that he was going to go that high. So like
right, right. I
I
thought it
don't
was going to
understand.
be. I mean, a lot of us thought it was going to be Dallas Turner. You just get your edge guy, which
Yeah,
they needed, and like credit to them, as you said. I think they've had a great like super late like free agency. It's
yeah,
wild, but yeah, getting Judon to be the pass rusher that they didn't get in the draft, and then man, Simmons and Bates is probably the best safety duo out there, and with the kind of defensive like meta being two high safeties right now. Um, I mean that's a both of those
it
guys are
looks
amazing
good.
like free safety ball hawk types.
Yeah,
So
looks good because they
mhm.
got the two high. You have Bates and Simmons, then you have AJ Terrell, who I mean he was elite his second year, but he's gone largely under the radar, even though his production has not dipped that much since then. So
Yeah,
they got a lot. Like they have a lot of legit good pieces on that defense, and they have a lot of good pieces on offense. Obviously, I like Raheem Morris. I think he's a good coach. I think he can do good. He was there when they fired Dan Quinn. He was the guy they wanted to bring him back. Then they didn't, so they get him back again. So I like it. It's just the way that they're handling this quarterback situation is that's the one thing that's where I'm like I don't know if they're going to be able to do this right,
yeah.
but I still think they're easily going to win the division because that division is not good at all.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll see
Also,
what
like
happens.
honorable rookie Hendon Hooker, he had a really good game. Um, after being
Oh yeah,
out all of last year,
yeah,
went down and then beat the Chiefs. But yeah, I thought Hooker looked good, which is big for the Lions because their backup quarterback, their typical one, Sudfeld, he's not it.
he's not good.
Like
He's
if
not good.
Jared Goff gets hurt, dude. So there's a couple teams like that. Them the Rams, if the Rams throw out Stetson Bennett for one of these games, it's over. Um, so yeah, I mean, like if Jared Goff gets hurt, uh, I like the Lions are kind of screwed. You can't play Nate
Yeah,
Sudfeld like unless Hooker is ready for prime time. And then yeah, the Rams like Jimmy G is suspended for the first two games. Stafford has been dealing with all these injuries in camp. If you got to roll out Stetson Bennett for week two, I mean, you're going to lose the game. Like he's got six turnovers in two preseason games.
yeah.
Um,
It's. I mean, these big money quarterbacks like it's
yeah,
him or that's it. Like you literally have no money to put even to a
yeah,
backup. Like it's crazy. I mean, Denver put in 7 million to Jared Stidham, and that
right,
was like an insane. That was he was the highest paid backup by a mile because of all these huge
right,
contracts.
right.
And they did that with Russell Wilson's contract because they knew that they didn't want to do much with Russ. So yeah, I mean it's scary for a lot of teams. I think the Patriots quarterback situation is funny because I think like I don't know who exactly is going to start at all. It's
Yeah,
between who's the it's is Brissett back there or who is
yeah. It's Brissett, May, and Milton
okay.
is their QB room.
Yeah. Milton is such a funny case because he is everybody I've listened to and seen is like this dude is insane. Like he looks better than everybody in practice and he comes on preseason and plays well. But it's like, okay, but we have like 6 years of him in college where everyone said the exact same thing, and then during the games, it just wasn't the same. So he is like the most elite practice player of all time, and then you put him in a real game, and it just doesn't work,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
hilarious. It's
yeah.
just
He didn't
hilarious to
have
see
a
NFL
good.
fans also drink the Kool Aid a little bit on him. So
Drake May definitely outperformed him in the
yeah, yeah,
second
the second
preseason
game,
game. Milton like was not good at all. Yeah, the Patriots. I guess we can kind of do this. Like we just talked about the Falcons and Penix. I mean, we can kind of just bounce around like rookie QB situations. Um, the New England one is like it's so weird to me because the team is so bad, man. The O line is terrible. The receiving weapons are horrific. so you've probably got the worst skill position group in the NFL. You've got one of the worst O lines in the NFL. Can you really put out a raw Drake May out there? Like this kind of feels like Sam Darnold ruin him year one vibes, like to me. Bryce Young
Yeah.
last year. Um, do you want to like put Drake May in that situation where May was even more raw than Darnold and Bryce Young? Um, I don't know. So I mean, like obviously you want him to get experience, but do you just wait a year and let him, be able to improve in practice, and then put him out there once you have better skill position guys, hopefully
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's interesting. Like the thing with football is like everything can change so quick with your team. Like you can be really bad one year and then be very good the next. Look at Houston
yeah,
last year. Like they
yeah,
are the prime example that a lot of these teams are trying to copy. I'm sure Denver's trying to copy them. New England's probably trying to copy them. Where you have this, you draft a rookie quarterback, and then that changes the entire spectrum of your team. But it has to work out well because they still had a good receiving core. D'Amico Ryans was the perfect guy for them to hire. The defense, I personally think, overperformed, but then they made moves and got him better. So now they're in a much better position and they have the development. They know what they can do. New England does not have that ability. Like they don't have the like you said, they do not have the pieces um around Drake May to throw him in there. My other thing is like they're gonna be bad anyway. It's more so of like straight up putting Drake May in danger of getting himself hurt. Like he needs the
exactly.
thing is
That's good.
like he is raw. So the way to get him better is to give him game reps. Like he needs actual legit game reps. But do you want to put him out there with that offensive line with a new head coach and everything, a new system? Like everything is different with this team from last year. That's a tough decision to make. Like that's a really really tough decision to make. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm interested to watch that team progress though because I think him and Jalen Polk can have a legit good connection for the next 6 7 years.
Yeah, I agree. I think like ever since I feel like right before the draft when people all of a sudden were like, you know, kind of bashing Drake May, um, saying he really wasn't as good as a prospect as he was made out to be for most of the college football regular season last year. And then I feel like in the preseason, there's been like two sides where it's like we still nobody knows if he's like good or not good. Like there's people who
Yeah,
look at this game and they'll be like, oh, he had two nice deep throws that were both dropped. But if he had hit on one of those, it would have looked a lot better, I guess. And then he had the rushing touchdown as well. So I mean, there's that good side, but then there's also like outside of that, outside of the two good deep balls and the run, I mean, he really didn't look good. Like he wasn't confident. I feel um, like there would be open receivers and he'd like look at him, but then be just like scared to throw it. Um, and so yeah, extremely raw, extremely interesting situation. Another one
yeah,
like as you brought up was CJ Stroud. Another one like that, I guess, is like Joe Burrow, but and the Bengals, they were really bad, got Burrow, and then got Jamar the next year, and then
yeah,
boom, they're in the Super
yeah,
Bowl. Um, but Burrow, remember, like he only played like half the season, I feel like his rookie year
yeah,
until he
yeah.
got
He tore his
injured.
ACL. Yeah,
Yeah. And then they got Jamar, and then boom, he just went off his second year. So like if the Patriots, get Travis Hunter this year, um, that could just change the whole dynamic of the team
yeah,
immediately.
yeah. They just need skill position guys. Like that's literally all they need. You lose Zeke and you cut Juju, and I mean neither of those guys were like elite, but having some sort of veteran presence on your offense if you're starting a rookie quarterback it's much needed. You need that, and yeah, it's unfortunate that now they just don't have that. So we'll have to see. I mean, the amount of confidence that the organization has in Gerard Mayo, it mimics that of what Houston was like with D'Amico Ryan. So we'll see. But D'Amico Ryan's, I think, was a much better head coaching prospect. I mean, he was getting calls the year before and everything as well. So um, I don't
Yeah,
know.
they
We'll
also
have
had
to
a
see.
had a really good offensive coordinator. I don't think the Patriots OC is anything special,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot that goes into being a successful NFL team, but it can switch
bro,
really.
it's
So,
wild,
I
man.
mean, it's crazy. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with New England. But I mean, this is like a crazy time because this is probably the first year, literally since like what, like '98 probably, where they're not expected to compete. Like I think last year people still expected them to not be as bad as they were. I mean, they were horrific last year. I don't think anyone expected that to happen because they had Belichick. So,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll have to.
But
This is a very interesting year for them.
yeah, I also think it was the right time to move off of Belichick. It just didn't really seem like his
Yeah,
thinking, especially when coming to picking wide receivers was, anything modern or seemed like he just
yeah,
kind of stuck in his old ways. So it's good to move on from him to bring in a really young, up and coming coach. Who else do we want to talk about? I guess we can move on to we can say Bo Nix for last because we just
yeah.
end off the episode with Bo Nix talk. But the Commanders, I'm thinking Jaden Daniels 10 for 12. Um, I'm thinking he's good. Like I
Yep.
think the Commanders, finally found their guy. Um, I mean, he's accurate. He throws probably the best deep ball of the draft class. At least like prettiest. Um, Obviously insane wheels. The only issue is that like it is the Commanders. Like they do have decent weapons, but their running game I don't think is going to be good.
No,
Uh,
no.
so so once teams start keying in on that, I think it'll be hard for Daniels to throw the ball. In the season, but I still think he's a good player.
Yeah, I like Jaden Daniels, obviously the ASU guy, so we kind of have to like him a little bit, but I like him. I really do, and I think I think it's similar to New England to the point where it's like it's not the greatest situation. They don't have a ton of skill players, but they still have a vet. They have Terry McLaurin. Like that is such a good security blanket for a receiver to have. And I honestly think in year one, Jaden Daniels is probably the best quarterback Terry McLaurin has played with. Like, I mean, I look at the other guys it's been Alex Smith and Taylor Heineke. Those are
Yeah,
the only other options. Like, what I
Haskins.
mean, yeah, the Haskins, but like that's it. There's nobody else. So I honestly think Jane Daniels in year one is just going to be the best guy he's ever had. And I mean I like it. I think Dan Quinn was a good hire for them at head coach. I'm honestly shocked it took this long for Dan Quinn to get another head coaching opportunity. Um, but I think I like having a vet head coach and a guy who is good with offenses. Like he knows how to run offenses.
Yeah,
Having that with a rookie quarterback, I think is really good. So we'll see how it goes. But I like I Washington has a good direction at the very least.
yeah, for sure. Luke McCaffrey also, I guess,
Yeah.
shout out 30 yards.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Next team would be, I guess, the Bears, I guess. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Are we
I mean,
missing
like
some?
Bears
I
or
don't know.
Vikings, but Vikings is not much
Oh yeah, I mean Vikings didn't
to
really.
do. Yeah.
McCarthy didn't play, but I guess the Bears. I mean Caleb Williams, dude, he's
Yeah.
he's amazing. Um, like I guess he had a before the 3 minutes left in the second quarter. They had a donut on the scoreboard. And I guess he wasn't playing that well, but then it wasn't like he was missing throws or anything. It was just like the plays were breaking down. The
Yeah.
defense, was good. Like the Bengals were not playing any of their starters, but their backups are pretty good too. Um, and and then obviously Caleb makes that insane throw on the sideline, just like the playmaking. I mean, it really is like Mahomes. I hate to like just say it because
It
everybody's
is,
saying it,
man.
but
That's all you can see. That's all you
I know.
look at when you see him
And
play. It's nuts.
I noticed that. I feel like like when I first noticed that when he was playing at Oklahoma, and I think they were playing at Oklahoma State like his freshman year. I feel like maybe it was his first game of his freshman year, and the way he moved was just so much like Mahomes already back then. And then just the way he like moves in the pocket, escapes the pocket, where he's like not really too fast, but at the same time nobody can tackle him. Um, and then he makes the right decisions on that rushing touchdown. I think was amazing. Where he scrambled out left and was like waiting, 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 waiting. I'm gonna throw here. I'm gonna throw here. Now I'm gonna run it. Um, I mean, he gives you everything. The Bears finally can have a quarterback that can throw for over 4,000 yards. I think.
Yeah. It's insane. I mean, that stat is like hilarious. Like the fact that
Because
they
they've
have
been
not had a
around forever.
single.
Yeah.
I know, like they've had like not horrific quarterbacks too. It's not like, I mean, they haven't had phenomenal ones, but they've had Pro Bowl type guys, and they still have
Yeah.
never had a port. That's insane.
Like I
I
feel
just
like
I saw a
Jay
TikTok.
Cutler one of those years could have thrown for
Yeah,
400 yards. Like what?
he had to. I'm sure he probably was just on pace for it, and then got injured instead. But
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok before we started recording, and it was like if Caleb Williams throws for like 4,100 yards and 23 touchdowns, how would you feel? And these people were like, it's all right, it's not that good. But those were Stroud's numbers last year. Like CJ Stroud threw for around 4,100 yards and 23 touchdowns. The only thing is, everyone thought that was a phenomenal season because they made the playoffs and they were winning. I think Chicago is at least offensively on paper they're in a better situation than Houston was last year. I mean, no one expected Houston to be that good last year. No one expected Tank Dell to explode like he did. No one I mean, Nico Collins, everyone knew was good, but not to that degree. Um, Devin Singletary had a hilariously good year for being signed for what he was. So, like, I think on paper, Keenan Allen is better than either of the guys that Houston had. I don't think he is anymore, but the idea of him versus the idea of Tank Dell and Nico Collins at this point in the year last year is better. Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. DJ Moore is for sure better than both of them, even now. And getting Roma Dunze is huge. Still have Cole Kmet. They signed. I mean, no, not David Montgomery.
They got
Was it
Swift.
DeAndre? Yeah, DeAndre
Uh,
Swift is there. Who, I mean, he's not incredible, but he's good. And I mean, that's a really, really solid offensive situation for a first overall pick to go into. And their defense is not bad. It's not. I don't think it's phenomenal, but it's not bad at all. And
yeah.
I really like the Bear situation. Yeah, Caleb is just ridiculous. I mean, the play that he made where he breaks out of the sack, rolls to his left, fires, flings it with the flick of his wrist, 40 yards on a dime, like in a bucket. That was incredible. That
Yeah.
play was like, oh, whoa, that has not happened very often. So that was awesome.
Yeah. And
I'm
not
really excited to see him play.
not to mention also the one where he scrambled right, found Odunze in the end zone, but Odunze just like lost track of where he
Yeah.
was. Um, so I brought up Jay Cutler's stats. His last year in Denver before going to Chicago, he threw for 4,500 yards and then went to Chicago and never threw for 4,000. The highest he got was
That's
3,800.
oh my god, that's hilarious.
4,500 yards the year before. So I mean the
That's
Bears were
crazy.
close, I guess, but I feel like the only like concern for me for like the Bears team and like Dante Pettis has showed up, so maybe it might like shut me up, but I just feel like their depth at receiver, considering Keenan
Yeah.
Allen's going to get injured at some point, their depth at receiver isn't very good. Like it's just more Allen and Odunze, and that's really it. Like Velas Jones, they're starting to play him at running back. Not like he's anything at receiver, anyways, but
Yeah.
Dante Pettis actually like looked good, but also like he
It's
hasn't
Dante
looked good his
Pettis.
entire career. So I mean,
Yeah.
um, I just feel like if Keenan gets hurt at some point, which he probably will, if Odunze or Moore get hurt at the same time as Keenan, that could be like an issue. I feel like, but outside of
Yeah.
that, man, I feel like the Bears have a really stacked team. I guess also
Yeah.
defensive line isn't like elite, but yeah,
Yeah. I like him. I like Chicago. That like I genuinely think this is the best situation a first overall pick has ever gotten
yeah,
into. Like I'm you're not supposed to have a good team, especially to this degree. I mean, and it's also because Chicago wasn't like that bad last year. The reason they even have this pick is because of Carolina. So, or yeah, because of Carolina. So like, this is a team that should have been picking what ninth or 10th or something, and
yeah. They
instead they're
ninth,
picking
yeah.
wherever they picked Odunze was ninth, I think. We're picking ninth, and you still get Caleb Williams and like they did a phenomenal job building this around. So I think this year we'll see what happens. The expectation should not be playoffs, but it's very possible. Like I said, things in the NFL can change so quickly. You can hit
Oh
a
yeah.
hot streak at one point in the year, and that can carry you because the season is so short. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
dude,
I'm excited.
especially in the NFC, bro, where like I mean,
Yeah,
and the Vikings just, are probably out of it now. Um, I mean, they can win their division for real. Like the Packers, I think are good. I think the Packers are actually really good. So I
yeah.
think the Packers, I mean, there's the Lions too. I forgot about them. Shit. Um, yeah, but I mean, I just feel like in the NFC, it's just not as deep as the AFC at all. So,
Yeah,
uh,
especially like just the wild card race specifically. I think the
yeah,
top of
yeah.
the divisions are pretty solid, but the wild card race is going to be. I think this year is going to be a lot tighter, but I still think there's a chance. I mean, I think Green Bay is one of them. I think the Rams have a chance, but I mean, like you said, we don't know what's going on with Stafford's elbow right now, so who knows if
I feel
he's
like
even going to be able to
outside of
make it.
yeah, I feel like the
And
Niners
then,
are the clear cut favorite, but then outside of that, it's like Philly. I think I think they're going to be better this year than they were last year.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so I mean, it's
Dallas,
like the
Philly,
Niners and Philly,
yeah.
but I mean the Bears, I feel like could beat out Dallas too. So like, it just,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I'm not confident with Dallas like at all.
yeah,
I
I'm not
think
really either.
they're gonna be able to be a playoff caliber team, but the situation right now with both Dak and
Man,
CD is not good.
yeah, we could
Like,
like there's some weird situations, some contract situations. The whole Hassan Reddick thing has just been bizarre.
yeah,
Um, Now all of a sudden Jamar Chase 2 years away from when his contract expires. Now he's asking for an extension, and apparently he won't even step on the football field until he gets an extension, and he's 2 years away. Anyways, I don't like
yeah.
like I don't
It's
know
weird,
about
man.
that. Man,
It's weird.
I
They're seeing the NBA
yeah,
money and they're like,
I know.
oh man, we gotta step it up.
I just wish the players would just be like, all right, like we have our rookie contract, like it is what it is. Like every single like one of us first round picks gets the same exact contract. Um, and then every single time it's like, oh, I'm holding out. Like, why can't you
Yeah.
just play your contract though? I don't know.
It's
Um,
crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah, the contract situations are nuts. Dallas is like legitimately bad right now with theirs. I mean, San Francisco's having some issues with theirs too. Whatever's
yeah,
happening with IU,
right.
no
That's been
idea
going on
what's going to happen
forever.
there.
My God.
And then, I mean, Purdy's due for an extension this off season. I'm pretty sure. So, and he's going to get paid a lot. I mean, they're like the reason why this team is so stacked is because they have a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback who's making less than $1 million. So whenever they pay him, who knows what's going to happen to that core. So this might be Super Bowl or bust year for San Francisco because they don't know what's going to happen with their quarterbacks. Um, so we'll see. I mean, it's interesting. It's really really interesting. There's a lot of teams that could not be at all where they are right now next season.
Yep. All right. The Denver Broncos and Bo Nix go to 2-0 after blowing out the Packers. Only 2 points allowed of the Packers is really impressive by this defense. Um, but man, Bo Nix, it finally our 13th, I believe it's our 13th starting quarterback since Manning. I'm not going to attempt to like list them all up, but I'm pretty sure it's 13,
Wait,
including Ken.
I'm gonna try. I
Okay,
think
okay.
I can do it.
All
I
right,
think
all
I
right.
can do it.
I'm gonna bring it up. Hold up.
Okay,
Actually, wait. I'm not gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring it. I'll like try after you.
okay, okay. So Simeon for sure. Um, and then that 2017 year, Osweiler was there for a little bit as well. That's two. Paxton Lynch, obviously. That's three. 2018 was Keenum for the whole year. 2019 was Flacco, Brandon Allen, and Locke. That's seven. 2020 was Locke, and then Driscoll. Are we counting Kendall Hinton?
Yeah, yeah. I think that goes into the
Yeah.
13. Yeah.
Okay, we'll count Kendall Hinton. So that's nine. 2021 was Teddy, Russ, um, Rippin, Stidham. Yeah, 13. Right on the nose. Unless I'm
Boom.
missing, I don't think I'm
No,
missing anybody.
I think that's it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Nix is the 14th quarterback actually.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so there's been
That's
13.
nuts.
I'm
That's
14
insane.
in 9 years.
That's
Um,
crazy. That is.
But on our 14th try, I think we have the man. I thought he was the man when we drafted him. That's who I wanted in the draft. Like I was saying, I think Bo Nix day one in Sean Payton's offense is better than Russell Wilson the last 2 years, like combined. Um,
He's looking like it.
like yeah, I
He's
mean
looking like it.
his anticipation on the throws. I mean, it really is his decision making that just stands out to
Yeah.
me. It's so quick, man. Like, um, especially on the short routes, his accuracy is crazy. So, I mean, in this Sean Payton offense, which is just slice and dice the defense, Drew Brees style down the field, and then after a couple of those drives, you take a shot to Colston or our Sutton for us, um, like or when he had Brandon Cooks too. I kind of wish we had like a fast guy like that right
I
now,
mean,
but
Mims. I mean, Mims is there.
yeah, but man, the
We'll
Mims
just see if he even
situations.
plays. I guess I don't know.
I know. That's like concerning to me, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man. I mean, I could see the improvement already. Also, from week one to week two from Knicks, I felt like week one, he was good, obviously, but there were like times where he would just like start running in the pocket for no reason and then throw it. Like
Yeah.
especially in the first quarter, I think his very first throw, he like ran up into the pocket when there was no real pressure, and so he wasn't set, and he fired a bullet and it was like low. And then he also had another one to the left side before making that running play to Sutton, which in that one he really didn't have to run either. Like it was a clean
Yeah.
pocket. But I noticed his footwork in this game was a lot more calm, a lot more in rhythm. He wasn't, he was 8 for 9, so he didn't miss a single throw outside of the one where he got pressure. Like so he was accurate on every single throw outside of the one where there was a Packer right in his face and he basically just had to throw it away. Um, so yeah, I just thought his footwork was a lot better, which just speaks a lot to how quickly he improves because some rookie quarterbacks can't even figure out their footwork or fix it, throughout their whole entire rookie year. So like to
Yeah.
fix it in 1 week, what was impressive to me. And there's still things he needs to improve on. Like, you know, I want him to like push the ball down the field more still and really drive it. Like he had that beautiful throw, probably his best throw yet to Sutton, for like 20 yards
Yeah.
to the right side on that curl. I mean, that was just an absolute dart to him. But there were times where he could have thrown it. There was one to McLaughlin when McLaughlin lined up. It was like five wide. He lined up far left. And there was a window down the sideline for a big gain, but Knicks decided to run it for like 11 yards, which was good. It was like 1st and 20, and he ran it for 11, but he could have had like a touchdown with McLaughlin on the left side. Um, and so I wish he would, look to push the ball down the field more. I feel like he's kind of still like going like his like first read. If his first read is not open, like it feels like his first instinct is to run out of the pocket still. Um, but if that first read is open, I mean, it's just boom, 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 like
Yeah.
extremely quick.
And his
So
processing is very, very fast. Like I want he needs to trust that a little bit more. I agree with you that he gets a little jumpy in the pocket a little bit. But it's not like a bad jumpy, It's not like he's panicking or anything. He knows what he's gonna do, which is good because he's not gonna try and turn the ball over, make a hero play, or force anything. It's hey, if this isn't open, I'm gonna use my legs. I'm gonna try and run. I'm gonna try and extend the play. If that's not there, he will throw it away or he'll run for whatever he can get. So I like that about him. The processing thing. Sean Payton had an interview with the Athletic, and he was like, the thing that impresses him the most is the processing. Like it's something you can't really measure. Like obviously there's no stat on how fast you process. Despite I guess the only thing would be like how fast you get the ball out. But that's not even he's not getting the ball out like crazy quick. He's getting it out actually slower than Russ was last year. Um, which I like though because it means that he's progressing through his reads a little bit more. And I also think it means that Sean Payton is not handicapping the playbook. Like you are seeing a lot more rollouts, you're seeing a lot more things in the pocket, you're seeing a lot more, creative plays. You're seeing a lot more over the middle. I mean, a lot of what Bo has done has been over the middle. And a lot of the stuff that where he has pushed the ball down the field has been over the middle or inside the numbers at the very least. So he's been really good. That throw to Sutton that you mentioned, I think that's been his best throw of the preseason so far. That was really, really good. Really pushes down the field. He had another one, I think in the first quarter, first or second quarter, to Tim Patrick over the middle on like 3rd and 9.
Yeah, yeah.
And that one was really, really good. So he's been incredibly impressive. I think the biggest thing has been no turnover worthy plays. Like he hasn't really put the ball in danger whatsoever in either of the
Yeah,
first two games.
outside of his very first
The
throw.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
very, very first throw. I don't know how that's not listed as a turnover worthy play, but like yeah, he uh he hasn't really put the ball in danger that much, which is really, really impressive. So I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit on him, man. It's so hard to like believe and like think that okay, they finally got the guy, they finally did it. But this
Uh
is the best coach that they have had in a long time in Sean
yeah.
Payton, pretty clearly. And this is the highest quarterback that they've taken since Jay Cutler, I'm pretty sure. Like this is the guy. This is the guy for Denver that they have to
Yeah.
roll with. And I mean, to me, there's no reason why he should not be the starter week 1. Like
Oh yeah.
any argument that people put towards me, it's like I really don't get it. Like this is not a team that is
How
expected to
are people
compete.
arguing with you?
I don't under like this is not a team that's expected to compete. So there's no use in sitting him for a year. There's no use in sitting him for a year also because he's not raw. He's not like Drake May where he
Yeah.
needs the development or anything like that. This is like he's 24. Like he is and he's played 61 college starts on 2 different teams with 2 different coordinators, 2 different systems. This is a dude who knows what he's doing on the football field. And if Sean Payton trusts him, there should be no reason why he's not the starter. I honestly I feel a little bad for Stidham because I don't think his stats are necessarily
Oh
his
yeah.
fault. Like
Yeah.
his 2 interceptions were not on him whatsoever. The first one was like the most hilarious pick I've ever seen in my life, where it hit P Ryan straight in the hands and he bobbled it 7 times and it got picked. Like that's not the Stidham did exactly what he had to. Second one was also tipped in the air. Like his stats are not. I mean, I think he's played fine, but like I don't know how you don't start Bo. Like it really makes no sense to not start him.
Yeah, I agree. He's the most athletic out of the group. He's the most accurate
Yeah.
of the group. Um, Now this is still preseason, and he's going against second stringers. So like, there's something that we can like
Yeah.
talk about so that we don't really believe like we don't believe in Bo Nix. Like, we just can't believe because it was um the backups. But um
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I agree with you completely. He should start right away, and I
Yeah.
think he'll be good right away. 24 years old, as you said. I just think he's already like NFL caliber with his processing speed and his accuracy. So yeah, I'm excited about him. I kind of want to like with the 53 cut coming up. I wonder if we can do like a prediction on who gets cut,
Oh, who gets
who
cut?
stays on
Hold
the
on. I gotta.
team, who gets cut.
I have to bring up the roster. I do not have this
Yeah,
memorized right now. Um, because I think there's gonna be some guys who could get cut that we might not
yeah,
expect. I like Jonas Griffith on the broadcast on Sunday was listed as like on the bubble. That's a guy who I
right.
would not expect to be cut, but he could. Like he definitely could. Let me look at this.
I, I feel like coming into the off season after the Zach Wilson trade, that like most people were thinking like it would be a battle between Wilson and Stidham to see who stays on the team. But with them being like both so good, I think they keep all 3 quarterbacks, which is rare
I do too.
nowadays because you can like
I do
put a
too.
quarterback on the practice squad, but then call him up immediately or something like that nowadays. But I think having all 3 of them, I think they're all deserving of a spot. Um,
I agree. I agree.
I'm trying to bring
I
up
think
the
center, yeah, center wise, it'll be Forsyth and Wattenberg. I don't know who's start. I think Wattenberg, I heard, has like the early track for center,
yeah.
which isn't. I mean, Forsyth was both college center, but it's only for a year. It's not like he was there for the entire time. So we'll see. But I think Wattenberg's also played fine. Um, and then Chris Abrams Drain, I think he's played really, really well. Him and Riley Moss have been kind of battling for that two corner spot. Mathis as well. Honestly, every corner has played pretty solid. I haven't seen like bad cornerback. The defense in general has been really, really good. That's gonna be a hard position to cut some guys. Like Tremon Smith, I
Yeah.
assume is like the easiest guy to cut because he's a vet and he's gonna get paid a decent amount, so it makes
I'm
sense to
I,
cut him. But
Yeah,
the rest of
the
them, I
safe,
mean, it's
yeah,
tough.
right. The safeties have looked good. Like PJ Locke has
Yeah,
obviously looked. I feel like he's just been the best. He is the best safety, whatever. We know that. But like Devin Key and Keidron Smith. Keidron Smith's been a ball hawk, 2 interceptions. And then the Devin Key dude. I mean, he's been laying some big hits.
yeah,
I feel like he
yep,
had one bad play in the Packers game. I'm forgetting what it was, but um, it was like one bad play. So I mean, I feel like they've all been the guy I'm like forgetting about, I keep forgetting about is Delarian Turner Yell because he hasn't been playing. He's like on the pup, I think. I wonder what happens to
yeah.
him because I feel like all those guys have kind of like outperformed anything I've seen out of Turner Yell so far in his career. There's also JL Skinner, um,
He's
who,
apparently been good. I haven't really
yeah,
noticed him,
like
but he's
yeah,
apparently been pretty good.
he had the punt, whatever penalty on the punt, but it's whatever. As they were saying on the
Yeah,
broadcast, like he was really close to blocking that. Um, and then they got Brandon Jones also on the IR, which we haven't seen. Am I like super excited about him? Not really, but
he's good.
he's a free agent pickup,
Yeah,
so um,
he's good. He's not bad at
yeah,
all. Like he's pretty solid. So, um, that'll be good. I think like the big positions where I'm looking at cuts and stuff, like tight end. I wonder if they keep Kroll. He might be a surprise cut. Like he's good, and I know that they really like him.
yeah. But they
But
really
his
like
like,
Adkins. Like Adkins might come on and steal Kroll's spot.
yeah,
Um,
but like it's
I
Kroll's
agree.
mistakes this preseason
Right,
have been
right,
loud. They've been
right.
really, really loud. When he has the ball and he doesn't make a mistake, he's been really good, but his mistakes have been pretty loud. Dulcich, honestly, I thought coming into this season was like he could be a surprise cut, but he's played really well in the preseason, and he's taken. Honest, there was this one. It was like 3rd and 17 in the Packers game. He broke a tackle. He went to straight to the sticks. He dove. He got hit by like 3 players. Did like the John Elway
Oh,
helicopter,
no,
and
this
he
is
did
what
it
I'm.
like crumble into a million pieces like a
Yeah, yeah.
Lego person, and it was fine.
But
So
but I feel like every single hit he's taken has been a big hit. Like he got blown
yeah,
up on one. But like I'm thinking like, okay, is this all bad luck or is this kind of like some players are like get themselves into big hits, Like they're not very
yeah,
good at protecting themselves. And so I wonder with all that Dulcich injury history, I wonder if he's just not good at protecting himself because every time he gets hit, it's like a huge hit. um,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I agree with you that he's been really good. I mean, he kind of like I don't know. I guess he reminds me of Noah Fant after the catch, just that he's like fast. I guess like Noah Fant like rookie year, like when he broke all those tackles against the Browns.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but like yeah, I feel like he gives you speed, and can is a real playmaker. Um,
yeah.
and then yeah, they'll keep Troutman for the blocking and just his
Hmm.
veteran, whatever. He's a decent pass catcher
Yeah.
too.
But yeah, I mean that
Um,
tight end three spot is, I mean, it's up for grabs. I would say it's between Atkins and Kroll. Um,
yeah,
but they do like Atkins. I mean, he's been on the roster for what, 3 years now, and he hasn't really got that much play. But if this might be a year where he gets an
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah.
So we'll
Running
see.
back, I feel like it's becoming more and more like consensus that Samaje Perine is going to get cut, um, which is pretty big considering he was a free agent. I think they gave him a 2-year deal last year. So
Yeah,
I guess it's not that big, but still they brought in a guy who they thought was going to be here a couple years. But anyways, they'll keep Javante, who coming into camp it was like a competition between Samaji and Javante for running back one, I guess. And then the other guy would get cut because you have Jaleel McLaughlin, who is the switch up quick back, so you can't keep Samaji and Javante. But it seems like Javante has won that battle with ease, I guess. like in practice, they're saying he's looking really good. I even think, man, I forget who said this, but it was a Broncos reporter. He said that his prediction was that Javonte would make the Pro Bowl this year. So I guess like
Oh wow.
that's how good he's been looking in camp. But honestly, in these games, like I haven't he's been I feel like he's looked a little better than last year, but it still
He
doesn't look
looks a
like
little
the
more explosive.
explosive, but is not as explosive still as the rookie year.
Yeah.
And he
Man,
hasn't
I don't
broken
know if
many
we're ever gonna
tackles.
get that again. That is
Yeah,
my
yeah,
that's my concern. Like him his rookie year, man, if you go watch those highlights, like he's not obviously you think of him as the power back, the guy who breaks all the tackles and trucks through everybody, but he was legitimately breaking off like 20, 30 yard
yeah.
runs
He looked a
almost every
lot
single game.
skinnier too. And I know
Yeah.
he dropped weight from last year into this year, but he still looks kind of bigger this year. Um, but
They have him
yeah,
at
I
220
even
right
like
now, which I think is a good weight.
yeah, I even like their other guys, Tyler Beatty and Blake Watson. They both had good outings in
Yeah.
preseason. Beatty's like another one of these guys who's kind of been on the team for a while, just on the practice squad. But
Yeah.
I think he's pretty nice.
Estimate. Estimate.
Yeah, Estime
Estimate's
is
been
going to
really
make
good
the
at
team.
he's been good in practice or in pass protection. He
Yeah,
especially in that Packers in both preseason games, he's picked up blitzes really, really well. I mean, he's a freaking tank. They have him listed at 5'11", 227, but that's a lie. He is at least like 235, 240. Like
yeah,
he is straight up a tank. And I think he can just take over whatever P Ryan gives you, honestly. Like I think P Ryan's real addition to the team was the 2 minute drill and the pass catching ability that he gave you. I mean, he was the ultimate safety valve last year.
right.
I don't think Denver's going to need that this year because I think they're going to be able to push the ball down the field more than they were last season. So I think his role is going to be significantly diminished. And I think Esme can just give you the exact same thing, at least on the ground and in pass protection. So we'll see. And it's cheaper. There's no reason to waste a salary on that and keep the cap hit. So
Yeah. Receiver is also interesting. Like there's Jalen Virgil in there, Vele, Troy Franklin. I think the obvious guys who are going to make it are Sutton, Patrick, Mims, Reynolds. Vele looks like he's definitely going to make it.
yeah,
Franklin, I like seems like he's going to make it, but he hasn't. I don't think he's
he hasn't
really
done
been good
anything.
in camp, but he's a
No,
rookie. Um, So yeah, and then there's Virgil, Brandon Johnson, Lil Jordan Humphrey. Um, I
Michael
feel like
Bandy,
I feel like they
David
should keep
Sills,
Virgil because of the speed. You have big guys like Sutton and Patrick, and Vele's pretty big too. So having
and
speed guys
Reynolds.
like so you need like a couple speed guys. So I feel like Virgil, I think he's definitely the fastest out of those guys we just listed. So
Yeah,
I feel like they might keep him just for complementary reasons, but then hopefully a little Jordan Humphrey, hopefully those guys land on the practice squad in case one of those dudes gets injured. So
yeah, yeah. I almost. I mean, I'm my concern level on Franklin is it's getting higher by the week because
yeah,
I mean I didn't expect him to look like wide receiver 2 or
right.
3 immediately,
Well,
but I expected him to make some plays at least in practice or something. But I straight up have not heard anything positive about him
yeah,
like this entire camp. Like I haven't heard anything in general. Like it's not like he's been horrific. He just hasn't. He's not doing anything, and that is concerning to me. I mean, what like you say, he's a rookie. He was a fourth round pick. I mean, he was one of the best prospects on the board after the first round ended. Like this is a guy who was projected to go pretty high. So something obviously was wrong
yeah. I feel
in
like they kind of
pre-draft.
yeah,
So
but I feel like the teams kind of like realized later on in the process that like his hands aren't very good. He's just kind of a straight line runner, really. His routes aren't
yeah,
very good. Um, I mean, really, the connection is like Knicks and Franklin. That connection kind of gives me hope. But like outside of that, I don't think Franklin has really done anything. I think he had a huge drop problem early on, but I think that's like cleaned up a little bit recently in
yeah,
practice.
yeah. He's been
Um,
yeah. His hands have been better, but I mean, it's just
yeah,
I don't know. It's hard, man. It's hard to see
yeah,
him. He's not going to do anything this year. I think he'll be on the 53 as well. I don't think they'll put him on. the practice squad year one. But we'll see. But yeah, Vele has been really good. I think I mean, he's like 27 or something, right?
I
He's
think
an
yeah,
old
26, I
old
think.
rookie.
Yeah. Hold
Yeah,
on, I'm
he's
gonna go get
old
water
for a
real quick.
rookie.
Hold up.
Uh, but he's been Vele has been really really good. He drew like two or three pass interferences against the Colts. I really like him. He's good with his hands. He's big. He's essentially just Tim Patrick. Like they're both from Utah. They're both older guys. Um, they're both big, sure-handed possession receivers who are very physical and can make plays happen due to that and that only. So I really like him. I think he's going to have some sort of ability or some sort of contribution this year. Like I think he has a chance to. I don't know if he'll steal the wide receiver four position, but say Josh Reynolds tweaks his hamstring or sprains his ankle one game, like if Vele comes in and plays well for a couple of weeks, like he might take that position for the rest of the season. Like there's really no reason
Yeah.
to have Josh Reynolds in there if Vele is going to be
Yeah.
good. So um, it's interesting. I like it. I like it. The receiver group is. I think it just needs a little more variety in terms of speed and like route runners, um, because Judy was that for you, and I know he wasn't incredible, but he was the kind of third option. You had the straight line speed of, Hamler was there before, and then you had Mims last year, you have Franklin this year, you have Virgil, but Judy was kind of the in between guy. They don't really have that at all this year. So hopefully Mims can turn into that a little bit. I hope that's what his development has been. But overall, I think it's a solid group. Like it's a for a rookie quarterback to have that many guys who are just sure-handed, big possession dudes. That's a good situation to have.
Yeah, for sure. Offensive line, like the last two or three spots will be interesting. Um, it's obviously going to be Garrett Bowles, Ben Powers, Wattenberger, Miners, and McGlinchey. They're all going to make the squad, but outside of that like there's been Matt Pert out there who came over from the Giants. Um, Matt Pert, he's the guy who got like absolutely ran over in the Colts game as a left tackle. I mean, he just got thrown
Yeah,
down to the ground. Like Nix was in trouble right away. So I mean, I feel like Matt Pert might get cut, but yeah, Alex Forsyth, uh, the Alex Poljewski, whatever his name is, guy, um, Crum and Throckmorton have all been out there. I don't know, honestly. I think Forsyth, it seems like he's going to make the team. And then
yeah,
probably the Palchevsky guy. But and then there's a third guy, Jacobs also. Um, so I mean, I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know if but the problem is Quinn Bailey would have easily made this, and I think the Quinn Bailey loss is big because of the versatility he gave you. Like even
yeah,
though he wasn't going to start at any position, but if any one of those guys were to go down, like he could play at any position really, probably outside of center. Um, and so with him
yeah.
out, it's tough because these backup guys haven't been impressive at all.
Yeah. That's my biggest concern is just the depth. I think the starting lineup or the starting five right there is fine. But yeah, that depth is definitely a concern. I mean, I Forsyth is good, and I mean, I think Forsyth you could probably play at other positions as well. Like he's a center, so you could put him at guard if one of those guys went down, and I think you could probably get away with it. But um, yeah, Quinn Bailey going down really hurts. That versatility of just being able to plug and play him anywhere for a game or two. Oh, that sucks. That really really sucks.
Yeah.
But I also want to point out Drew Sanders is on the PUP list right now. I remember him doing something earlier. I don't remember what it was, like in terms of the injury. Is he out for like the whole season?
I just read about this today. It was a torn Achilles, but because it happened
Oh my
so
God.
yeah, but because it happened so early in camp, Peyton said that he could be back like November. So
Dude, Achilles in the NFL are so weird. You return so much faster than you do in the NBA. Like NBA Achilles,
yeah.
you're out for like a year and a half at least.
Yeah.
But in the NFL, it's like, oh, you tore your Achilles in June. Yeah, you can come
You're
back
back
by the
in
end of the
three
year.
months.
It's like, what?
Right.
What? How is that possible? I don't understand. I really don't get it. I don't know what I because I remember Cam Akers. He tore his Achilles in like June and then was back in like December. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
How? And he was like the starter for the Rams and won the Super Bowl. I was like, how is that even possible?
Uh,
I don't know what they're doing over there in the NFL, but the NBA got to adopt it like now, so Deron Holmes can play by March.
Facts.
Uh,
Yeah, why is Deron Holmes just out for the season, man? That's crazy. I wonder if it's because they're like taller. I don't know.
yeah, I have no
I
idea.
don't know.
We're not doctors.
Yeah, inside linebacker Alex Singleton has looked pretty good, I would say, in these preseason games
Yep.
so far. He might honestly like lead the league in tackles. Um,
Again.
yeah, yeah. Like I said that like it was like some crazy thing, but yeah, again, Cody Barton, I feel like he's been good coming over from the Commanders. And then yeah, it's like up to Griffith and Sternad. I wonder if they keep both of them, or I wonder if they cut one. And I feel like if they were to cut one, it would be Griffith because they value Sternad on special teams a lot
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
Griffith. So um I'm feeling like they're keeping a lot of guys. They're keeping three quarterbacks, four running backs if we're counting Michael Burton, which is rare to have a fullback on the team. So I mean that's a lot. I'm gonna say a cut comes here at linebacker and they cut Griffith, just because they like Sternada on special teams. Plus, with Drew Sanders potentially coming back, as we just brought up, um,
Yeah.
yeah,
You have the ability to let go of one of them. Yeah. I mean, I like Cody Barton. Cody Barton's been really good. I think he's the
yeah,
best uh pass coverage linebacker that they have. So that's pretty solid. I really like that. I really like that addition. So I think him and Singleton could be a really good duo. Um, yeah, we'll see. I mean, Singleton, like, he's just always in the right spot in terms of making a tackle. He just will miss it a lot of the time. And I think the scheme that Vance Joseph and Sean Payton run is just it's built for the linebackers to go make the play. So he's going to be in the position to tackle people all the time. Uh, but I mean, yeah, he led the league in tackles, I think 2 years in a row, but he has also led the league in missed tackles both those years too. So it's weird. I mean, he's
yeah,
very much just right place, right time, a lot of it. But yeah, I think he has looked good this year. And I mean, like you're never going to complain about a guy leading the league in tackles. Like he's clearly doing something right. It's just his misses are kind of loud. So we'll see.
yeah.
And
And
that,
his coverage isn't that great, but
yeah. And I keep thinking of the play against Houston where he just tried to show up CJ Stroud for no reason.
I know.
And that
I hated that.
essentially like lost him the game. It's like, what do you like? What's going on, man?
Yeah,
Uh, so I don't know,
he's
but
got a little bit of
I
that
like him.
like
He'll be
fire.
fine.
Yeah,
I think they should probably draft a linebacker soon, though, like a middle linebacker, someone
yeah, I
early.
agree. Yeah. Edge rusher. I'm really excited about this group. It's an obvious four: Browning, Cooper, Benito, and Ellis. Even though like apparently the Thomas Incoom dude has been having a really good camp, like averaging almost a sack per day, they're saying. But yeah, I do think those four are the clear cut to make it, especially after how great Jonah Ellis has looked.
He's
Uh,
looked incredible. I mean, he's been
yeah,
like, I think he's been the best rookie on the team so far. Like, he's been better than, I
yeah,
mean,
he
relative
was
to position, he's been incredible.
the highest rated rookie edge defender by PFF last week. He had a nice spin move. That's his like signature move. It's his spin move. He spun inside and then I don't think he didn't get the sack, but he forced a lot of pressure. He's good in the run game too, which I didn't really realize coming like into the draft. I thought he was just kind of a pass rushing spin move guy, but then turns out he's a really good run defender as well. So that's great. And then I feel like the rest of the three, I don't know. I haven't seen like Browning hasn't impressed me too much, but the other two I feel like have looked fine. I mean Benito really good too. So yeah, I'm excited about that group.
Yeah, yeah, I think they'll be good. Benito's been really, really good. I think
Yeah,
he's in for a big year. I think it's tough because like I think the coaching staff likes Cooper more than Benito, just as like an overall player. But I think Benito like I think he has much higher potential than Cooper as a
yeah,
player. So we'll see what happens. They just might be a little overloaded with edge rushers. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they trade one of them at some point in the year, especially with Ellis. Like drafting Ellis that high, you want to get him as many opportunities early as you can. So um, we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, because I thought Benito played really well to start the year last year as well, and that once Jonathan Cooper came back, he just didn't play nearly as much. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do like. I think that's the deepest position group that Denver has right now is that edge rusher.
Yep.
That I think that cornerback because I'm a believer in obviously Sertan, but I think Riley Moss is going to be good. I think Chris Abrams' strain is going to be good. I don't think Damari Mathis is as bad as he showed last year. I truly believe that he is a solid corner. I mean, his rookie year, he was legitimately good. Like he was a
Yep.
good player. I think last year was just I don't know what happened. New scheme, new coordinator, new everything. Something had to have happened. There's no way you're that solid one year and then the literal worst corner in football the next year. So I believe he's much more closer to good than bad. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, but I think outside linebacker is pretty solid. I really like everyone that they have.
Yeah. I think defensive line is solid as well. Like the common theme I'm getting is just that I like this team. Like every like thing I see, every site I see is like, oh, the Broncos have the worst roster. They have like a bottom three roster in the league. They're ranked 31st um in the whatever power rankings from ESPN. But I feel like the whole like the quarterback position just sums up the public like opinion on them.
Yeah,
Like the quarterback position in my eyes is a pretty good group. Where in most people's eyes, they see Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, and a rookie quarterback, and they're like, "Nah, that's a terrible group. Like you got no like legitimate guy." But then but they're all like pretty good. And I think overall, it's a better QB group than most other teams in the NFL. Um,
yeah,
and that kind of just like sums up the team. Like the public impression on them is that they're just not good. They have no explosiveness at receiver. Tight end. They haven't ever seen Dulcich really play, so they don't really know about him.
yeah,
Um, cornerback. There's a ton of guys probably the public has never heard of. Mathis, Moss, Abrams, Drain. I mean, Levi Wallace has been around for a while.
yeah.
But
People do not know McMillan. They do not know who Jaquan
yeah,
McMillan is, and that
even
dude
though
is
he was
one of
just
he might be the best
amazing.
slot corner in football, and he
Yeah.
was relatively unknown to the general public. So like,
the entire
it's a good
safety
team.
group the entire safety group I feel like people don't know about, even though they're like seemingly a decent group so far. Same thing with inside linebacker, same thing with edge rusher, like same thing with the whole team. It's just underrated guys or young guys that just have a lot of potential, but with the Broncos just not winning, like people just don't see it.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, so
it's
back to the
hard.
defensive line, Zach Allen has been a beast. Like I
Yeah.
love the pickup. Ever since they picked him up, he's been amazing. John Franklin Myers, I'm really excited about too. Only giving up a sixth
Mm.
round pick for him. He has
And
like a penalty.
restructuring his deal too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
He has a
he's
penalty
not as
issue
expensive.
sometimes, but he's really good. I mean, he forces a ton of pressure, including in that Packers game. DJ Jones has been, also good ever since he's been picked up, just as a big run defender. And then Malcolm Roach, who they got from the Saints, he's a
Oh,
huge
he's
guy
been
too,
incredible.
who can
He's
help
been
with
incredible.
like the whole thing with the Broncos for a majority of the past half decades, they can't really stop the run. Like the secondary is always good. That seems like they always hold up the quarterbacks, but then towards the end of the games, the guys just can't stop the run. But having DJ Jones and Malcolm Roach in there, and John Franklin Myers and Zach Allen, these are all big guys that can stop the run. And then they got
Yeah.
Wazirike, who's coming off of the gambling suspension, but they really like him.
I mean, he's good.
So
Like he was good his rookie
yeah,
year. Like that's a good player. So getting him back is big. The
yeah,
defensive line has been one of the more impressive parts of preseason for me. Like you said, Zach Allen has been awesome. I mean, he was good last year, but he's been even better this year. I really like the John Franklin Myers deal when they traded for him. I was like, really that much? And I'm sure it's funny because I'm sure the Jets traded him because they wanted to get Hassan Reddick, and then
right,
now they
right,
have to trade Hassan Reddick.
yeah,
And so Denver pretty much got him for free because the Jets were selling so low on him because they needed
yeah,
the capital to trade. uh to trade for Reddick and also the cap space to sign him, and that's just not happening anymore. So good pickup by that. Good pickup by Peyton. Matt Henningsen is also good. Like he's a really
Yeah.
good depth guy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it.
I
I mean,
I name
I like
I
the
named
pick.
5 guys. They'll probably keep 6. So it seems like it's up to Matt Henningsen or Blackson. Um, and then I get Elijah Garcia is listed here. So I feel like it could be Henningsen making that.
Yeah,
And
we'll see,
then
man. Dude, I do
yeah,
not envy head coaches during this time, and especially with getting rid of that fourth week of preseason. Like, you have even less time to make decisions. You have even less time to make cuts. You have even less time to evaluate what the team is going to look like. This is probably like the hardest part. This is probably like the hardest stretch of any coaching job in the league. Like you have that many roster spots. And yeah, who knows? Maybe the guy who was the 53rd guy on the roster doesn't do anything. But what happens when that 53rd guy is your inside linebacker and you have 2 guys out for season-ending injuries? You need him. What happens if it's a safety and you kept that inside linebacker? Like, it's nuts. You have to think of so much to go about this, and yeah,
yeah,
it's hard, man. Being a
yeah.
coach is like it's the most like underrated. Everyone knows it's hard, but it's the most underrated hard job I think in the world. Like there's so
I
much you have
mean,
to go
like
through
not
for
to
that.
mention this, it's like real people's like lives too.
Yeah.
Like you're just
Like
kind of
cutting
ruining
one
like
guy.
people's dreams.
Exactly. Like cutting one guy who's like 27, 28 years old. That might be it. Like that might be their
Yeah,
last chance at playing professional football. And sometimes cutting them is great because they end up on another team and then they thrive in that opportunity. But like 99% of the time, that is not how it works. And yeah, it's gonna suck. I mean, someone's career is gonna end because they get cut this year in almost every single team, which is
yeah,
just awful. Like that sucks so hard. Because that's the other thing. This team wanted you too. Like they reached out to your agent, they signed you, they are paying you right now to play for them. And then, tomorrow it could just be over like that. And
yeah, yeah.
that's just such a harsh reality to face, man. That's ridiculous. So,
Also,
whew,
I did just see this. I feel like he deserves a shout out. Omar Brown, also as a safety, has like flashed a few times in practice.
he's
He's
been
been
good.
great, and then I've noticed him in the preseason games too. He's like a underrated. He was an undrafted guy, but he's like an underrated guy to potentially make it. Maybe if
Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
I mean,
I don't know
Denver,
the
what they've
situation
had an
with Turner
undrafted
Yell.
player. They've had an undrafted player every like last 25 years or something, whatever their streak is to make the
Yeah,
team. Sometimes I feel like they just do it just to say they have the streak, but uh, I mean it's a new organization now than what it was 5 years ago, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean I think I mean there's gonna be some hard cuts, like guys who would play on most rosters are gonna get cut. Um, so like potentially Lucas Krull or Nate Atkins, those are guys who are gonna get opportunities on other teams, and they're gonna be surprising cuts. Like Albert Okwuegbunam last year, like he was gonna get
yeah,
cut, and then they traded him instead, and then he didn't end up playing anyway. So like that, you know, it happens. It's weird.
yeah,
It's weird. It's a weird situation. But I'm interested. I'm excited to see it, man. I'm excited for this year. This is going to be a fun season. I really hope. I'm excited to see
yeah.
Sean Payton fully like unleash the playbook and fully unleash what he can do offensively. Um, I really do like. I think Bo Nix is going to be the starter. Um, like
Do you
yeah,
think
Stidham.
Do you think he
Yeah.
plays next week though, or this week?
Oh man, I have no idea. Because honestly,
Uh,
I thought they would have announced a starter by now. Because you're gonna, well, I think you're gonna get a decision at some point in the next like 3 days. Because like
but so
I
if they
think he
announce
plays.
him, but if they announce him as a starter, I feel like he shouldn't play. I don't know.
I think he plays regardless. Because I think I remember like Sean he did an interview. Peyton did an interview with Kay Adams, and he was like, Kay Adams was like, why are we holding off on Bo? Like what's the deal? Like why not do it? And he's like, Band's not finished playing yet. Like he needs to see the whole thing. So I think he's gonna give him next week as well to play. I just man, I keep thinking of this as like the Bridgewater lock situation where it's like, yeah, Bridgewater is the better quarterback. I think Stidham is obviously more NFL capable. He probably can handle and manage a huddle better. He's probably a little more suited to be an NFL quarterback right now, but like why? Why go conservative? Sean Payton is not a
Yeah.
conservative coach. Bridgewater was the starter for the sole reason that Vic Fangio was trying to save his job and he didn't want to take a risk in starting Drew Lock. But Sean Payton has job security. He's not going to get fired if he starts this rookie. So I think there's no reason to not do it. I also think there's no reason to not play him either because he's a rookie. He needs reps.
But what if he gets hurt? I don't want him to get hurt.
It's my thinking with that is like it's football. Like you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get hurt. If he gets hurt in preseason, he might have gotten hurt in the regular season then. Like it's a contact sport. There's injuries are gonna happen all the time. With
I
basketball,
know.
it's a little
But
more unfortunate, but like in football, like I mean, yeah, you can try and protect the player as much as you want, but once you get in the regular season when people are going 100% every single snap, like if you try and protect him, then you can't protect him in the regular
yeah.
season. So I would just give him.
I'm just scared of I just remember seeing the notification that like JJ McCarthy tore his MCL and I was like,
Yeah,
imagine if that said Bo Nix, dude. Like I would have been devastated. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't want that to happen. Like
I
so
know. I don't want it to happen either.
I don't know.
That I guess okay. If he is announced the starter, yeah, then don't play him. Then there's no reason to give him a shot because you want him healthy week 1 at the very least. There's no reason to take that risk then.
Yeah.
But if he's not announced a starter, you have to play him. Like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no reason to sit him at that point. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm excited regardless. I'm excited. I like where the direction that this team is heading in. They have a lot of cap space going into this offseason as well. Um, that Russell Wilson cap hit is not going to hit him anymore. So they're going to be able to spend. And hey, if they're bad this season, next year is also a very, very deep and good draft class at the top. So they have a lot of options there. Shoot, if they're really bad, they can get Travis Hunter and have a Sertan Travis Hunter cornerback room or play
You
wide
know,
receiver. I don't know what's gonna happen with him, but that'll
you
be
know what
cool. They could
this
get Luther Burden at wide receiver, who's
yeah.
a dog. Like
Yeah, this kind of
this
reminds me of the conversation we were having where like Murray and Porter were out and we are like, should we just tank for Chet? Like
yes.
so I mean if Bo Nix like tears something, we should just tank for Travis, I guess.
I guess. I guess. Or for Shadur or whoever. I don't know. Whatever whoever they
Mm,
want.
mm. I
Who's
wonder
the
who's gonna
you know
be
more about
like
college football than I do. Who's the consensus quarterback one for next year? I actually haven't really
I mean right now I guess it's Shadur, but like Carson Beck is good. Depends on his
yeah.
season. Also Quinn or yeah, Quinn Ewers. Um It's like up to those three, really. But right
Okay.
now, it seems like Shador. But I do think Carson Beck is underrated though.
I think he's
Um,
good. Yeah, he's good.
yeah,
We'll see how Georgia looks. Hey, college football starts in like 3 days.
I
Well, actually,
know.
we'll see. Did you see the thing about the Delaware State, the football team, how they didn't get on their flight?
No, I didn't see it.
So they're playing in Hawaii, but their
Oh,
bus was late to the airport and they missed the flight. And it's like a 10.5 hour
oh.
flight. So they have to, I think they're splitting up their flights now. So like I don't know if the whole team is gonna be there at once. So we'll see.
Yeah,
So maybe no college football, but probably I don't know. We'll see what
that's
happens.
insane. Damn. So they had to just like fly on a regular plane
I think so. Which yeah, that was
because
confusing to me because
it's. But I mean, it's like Delaware State, so
yeah, it's Delaware State. They can't afford charter, I'm
yeah.
sure. But dude,
Damn.
football
I
season is
know.
the best time of
I
year,
know.
man.
I know. It's really close. I'm like smelling it.
Dude, there is like a smell. There's a smell. There's a legit smell of the football season.
Yeah.
Like you go outside on a Sunday and you just take a whiff. You're like, oh yeah, it's getting
Exactly.
close. You can
It's
feel it.
close, right? You can just, yeah, you
You
can
can
sense
feel
it in
it.
the air.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
excited. I'm really
I
excited.
think that was a good one. We hit a lot
Yeah,
of Broncos stuff.
a lot of
Um,
Broncos stuff. We'll probably get into Nugget stuff later. I mean,
yeah.
the training camp is going to start in a few weeks, I assume. Um, So whenever that happens, we'll talk about it because there's a lot of Nugget stuff that happened in the time that we have not done. We have draft picks. We've had that draft pick getting injured. There've been
Right.
Russell Westbrook signings.
Rose,
There've been
yeah.
free agency signings. There's been a lot. So we'll
Olympics.
definitely talk about it at some point. Yeah, but today's Bo Nix. Today's Bo Nix's day. And
Yeah.
hopefully sometime in the next 48 hours, it's actually his day and we'll be good. But yeah, we will be better about it during the season. I think we're good about it. We're good about it during football season. We're pretty on
Yeah,
top of it.
yeah. Do you have the weekends like off or not?
Yeah, right now I have weekends off, which is
All right,
I
good.
really like that. Thank God. So
Same, because
I
I won't miss any football game, especially you
I
when
know.
you were like working during them.
Yeah,
Like,
I missed every Broncos game essentially last season,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I can actually like do it now. It's been 2 full years since I've like truly locked into a season, so
right.
I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. We will do it at some point soon, probably after the next preseason game. So we will
Yep.
do that then.